So I decided to re-embark on an old journey, something that I started 4 years ago. And the first time I was on this trading journey, I crashed and burned big time. It was so bad. $500,000. Boop. And that's just me. And then there's my husband. We both crashed and burned really bad because they say in trading that 90% of people who get into trading lose 90% of their money within the first 9 months. Now, I don't know about 9 months because it took us a lot longer than 9 months to lose 90% of our money, but we definitely were the statistics where we were part of the 90% who lost 90% of our money. So, why am I doing this again, right? Because holy shit, that's $500,000 gone because I'm ready to get back in the game because I've had the experience of being the 90%, the 9 out of 10 who lost money. Now I'm back to have a different experience and be the 1 out of 10. And that 1 out of 10 takes a certain level of like a completely different way of thinking than the other 90%, right? And now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder the 1 out of 10 who made it, I wonder if they crashed and burned in their process because all the mentors that I know that have traded have all crashed and burned. Lost a lot of money and then decided that they didn't know anything and then went back and studied and did whatever they did to get back into the game. So, but the first time I crash and burn, I call it my spiritual smackdown, because it brought out all of my unsupportive money beliefs that I've had since maybe the beginning of time. I don't know. But like a lot of scarcity mindset that I held on to that I sometimes knew about it, but I always push it to the back of my mind. So mindsets like I was so scared of losing all my money. And like this is like a generational pattern that I discovered from, my ancestors, my great grandparents uh, being in China, and they were literally tortured by the Chinese communists before they were wealthy. So like it leaves a generic, not generic. Oh, I'm losing all my words. Um, it's called epigenetics. Epigenetics. So it left a genetic imprint. Like my body was literally coded with the code that, hey, if you have money, your life could potentially be in danger. Like that was like literally coded into my body, right? Because that's how, as species, that's how we pass down information to keep the next generation alive. But with my spiritual smackdown, definitely brought out all of my money beliefs that I have to move to work through. So I became very versed in emotional intelligence, the spiritual side of money, the energetics of money, the psychosomatics, like how our brain, like our subconscious thoughts, and how that affects our body and our nervous system. So, like, really getting into the psychosomatics of money and like understand how that works as an ecosystem on our mind, our spirit, and our body, and how that all works together when it comes to money. So, definitely grew a lot, like exponentially grew. And now I'm back for the different experience for the 1 out of 10. And this time, of course the teacher shows up when the student is ready because earlier this year, this is 6 months ago, I decided that I was ready to go back into trading, and I was looking for a mentor that fits like certain criterias, like a mentor who understands emotions, that understands that we actually have to like factor our emotions when it comes to trading, because there's a lot of people that says that like don't let your emotions get into trading, which is not true because you cannot separate the fact that you have emotions because we're human beings. And a mentor that understands somatically how that affects your body and understands the belief system and like the psychology of everything that's happening, our thought patterns, and how we think and our belief system when as traders. So I was looking for somebody very specific, and I looked around, and honestly, I really felt like the person that I was looking for was a needle in a haystack. And I kind of figured that I might have to be that person that I was looking for, that somebody who understands money energetics, somebody who understands emotional intelligence. I have a very high level of emotional intelligence. Somebody who obviously knows how to trade and is profitable at trading. Somebody who's been through cycles of the market so that they understand what happens through the ebbs and flows of the market. Somebody who understands quantum physics, manifestation, and like the frequency of money, the frequency of wealth, all of that stuff. So I really was looking for a needle in a haystack, and I haven't found that person. And I did find somebody very close. And of course, like it was just like when I was ready, this person just showed up in my life. It was a friend that I had manifested, pointed me to this person, my current mentor, my current trading mentor. So I'm very grateful to be in that space. And when I talked to my mentor, one of the first lessons he gave me is, so you're like wanting to do things really fast, huh? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Why do you want to do it slow? And he's like, well, here's your first lesson. You gotta slow the fuck down. And he didn't word it to me that way, right? He's like, no, you gotta slow down. Like, if you really want to succeed at this game, you really gotta slow down. And then his advice is that I have to go through the modules at least multiple times, at least 10 times. Every module, there's 25 modules in this course. Every module I have to go through it 10 times, and I can't go to the next module until I've gone through the previous module 10 times. Oh my God. To somebody who wants to do things fast and like get results right away, like that's a hard thing. But I'm very grateful for that advice because it forces me to slow down and really digest the information, because his thinking is that, listen, like you were a trader and you completely bombed it. You completely failed. And it's because your mindset isn't in the right place. So let's slow you down. Let's get your mindset right so that you can think like a profitable trader. And then you can start trading and start making money, because that is the whole point, right? So I guess repetition is the mother of all skill. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I am on the first module. I mean, at first I did like 3 times through the first few modules. And then when I got to like module 12 or something, he's like, okay, now you got to go back and do every module 10 times and have a spreadsheet for yourself and mark them off that you've actually done it 10 times. And the most fascinating thing happened that the 6th time when I went through the first module, I had this huge epiphany around how we lose money. And I'll explain that in a different video and write a post about it, because I often like to write to like organize my thoughts. But yeah, but that's like the 6th time that I've watched it, then I have this epiphany. So does it work? Yeah. Do I have to slow down? Yeah, because I am literally reprogramming my brain to win. Because 90% of the people, the first many trading courses that I've taken, I started trading right away. It was like, took a weekend course, and literally by Monday, I already got my account set up and I was trading real money. You know, that was pretty fast. And like, there wasn't a lot of mental preparedness, which is how most people lose 90% of the people lose 90% of their money, because we're excited, right? And so slow down, just enjoy the process, and the money will come, the money will come, and the money will come. And it's a process of becoming, right? I know that I am a profitable trader. Now it's this process of walking out this path so that, like, it's the becoming process. It's manifesting my own becoming. So this is the whole process. And it requires me to use a little bit more patience. So this is my first YouTube video. And this channel is more of a documentation for my own journey. And I also realize that I have to be, not that I have to, I don't have to do anything, but I choose to be a mentor that that mentors people how to trade, because it really sucked to lose $500,000. Like, not a lot of people get to say, oh yeah, I've had that experience. Do you know what it feels like? No, because not a lot of people can say that they've had that experience, right? Like, you literally feel like you could die. And like, I was in freeze. Like, I was, after like losing the $500,000, I went through a lot of PTSD, and a lot of my trauma responses kicked in. So I was acting out of survival. And like, I literally cannot look at my money. I couldn't look at my bank account. I was always late paying bills because I just couldn't, I couldn't handle it, because if I had to get my mind to think about money, I would then have to remember the pain of losing that money. And I often say it's never about the money. So it really was about the remembrance that my money was gone, which is like my worst fear ever. So I had to do a lot of coaching, a lot of mentoring, a lot of shifting of my belief system, like rebuilding and recoding my belief system. And the stories I have around money, it's from a place of lack and scarcity, and all my money will be gone, and I worked so hard for it. And even working hard for money, that's another thing I have to recode. Two, actually, there's an infinity. Like, money is infinite because it comes from source, and because the source is infinite, right? So that's why it's called a resource. Like, resource, you have to get it from the source again and again and again. So money is very spiritual, which I found out. I used to pride myself in money because I thought I knew a lot about money. I knew how to make it, I knew how to keep it, and I knew how to invest it, which is how we became financially independent when I was 35, right? Because I knew the skills, and because I knew how to keep it. I was like, frugal was my middle name. And so I thought I was an expert in money, until I found out, well, actually, I didn't really know that much, because there's a whole other side of money that, it's becoming more common to talk about the energetics of money. And yeah, the spiritual side of money, it's definitely a topic that's being brought forth more. So, which is great, because I would love more people to have that money. And like, circling back to like, I choose to be the mentor who teaches people how to generate more income through trading, so that they can live the lifestyle that they design and be able to channel money aside to buy assets that pay passive income. So now it frees up their time, so they don't have to work if choose not to, and now use their time to do things that light them up. And most likely than not, they will find something that lights them up, that they love to do, that they love to talk about, that they love to share with the world, that actually is a service to the world, that offers value to the world. And in exchange, the universe supports them back by this exchange of resources, meaning money. So like, it's just such a beautiful system when you like understand the energetics of money and the design of money and how money really works. It's such a beautiful system. So this is to say that I'm here to document my own journey, because one day I'll be leading people through this journey. So this, I think, could be really powerful for like even myself, and maybe for my children, and of course the people who want to come along on this journey with me, to produce an income in this way. So welcome to the space.